Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb arrived in Washington on Monday to attend the World Bank Group and International Monetary Fund (IMF) Spring Meetings 2026, the Ministry of Finance said. According to a statement, the minister is scheduled to hold key meetings with global financial leaders to advance Pakistan's reform agenda and economic priorities. The Pakistan Stock Exchange's PSX benchmark index KSE 100 shed over 3,500 points during intraday trade on Monday in a turbulent session, after United States President Donald Trump ordered a blockade of Iranian ports. The KSE 100 index declined by over 5,000 points at the start of the session, hitting an intraday low of 161,638.07 at around 9:50 a.m. after its previous close, at 167,191.37. Peshawar, a police constable was martyred, and 4 others were injured in an attack on a law enforcement party en route to provide security for polio teams in Hangu district of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa on Monday. The incident took place in Hangu's Thol Tehsil on the first day of a nationwide vaccination campaign taking place from April 13 to 19. As we focus our attention on the Iran-US-Israel escalating conflicts, rising oil prices have shaken the global markets. Pakistan stands at the edge of a different but equally devastating crisis, one that flows not from geopolitics but from its rivers and skies. Weather forecasts are pointing to a high probability of abnormal rainfall, 22 to 26% above normal, in the coming monsoon season, which is just a few weeks away. This means we are potentially going to face heavy floods in 2026 once again. This highlights the specter of a double crisis in the country this year: economic stress from war and devastation from extreme weather events in July-August. Consequently, while planning to recover from the economic impacts of the global war, Pakistan should also focus on flood management. The question is how fast and how wisely this can be done. The US military said it would begin a blockade of all Iranian ports on Monday, after talks between the warring sides in Pakistan failed to produce an agreement, with President Donald Trump blaming the Islamic Republic's refusal to abandon its nuclear ambitions. Trump had announced on social media he would blockade the strategic Strait of Hormuz trading route that he has been demanding Tehran fully reopen. After his vice president, J.D. Vance left negotiations with an Iranian delegation in Islamabad on Sunday. Rawalpindi, Minister for Railways Hanif Abbasi on Sunday, inaugurated an upgraded safari train in Rawalpindi, highlighting major reforms and tourism-focused rail services. Addressing the inaugural ceremony at the Rawalpindi railway station, the minister said comprehensive measures were being taken to modernize the railways, with positive outcomes already becoming visible. TAXILA, the District Administration of Attock on Sunday, launched a free commercial transport service on 7 intercity routes, with a fleet of 22 buses. The surge in petroleum prices due to the prevailing international situation, particularly tensions between Iran and the United States, is being felt globally, including in Pakistan, said member National Assembly Sheikh Aftab Ahmed while inaugurating the initiative at the General Bus Stand. Even though talks in Islamabad between the US and Iran did not produce a deal, that they happened at all after 5 weeks of war was itself significant. There was no breakthrough but also no breakdown. Both delegations have gone back to their respective capitals to confer with their leaderships, who will decide the next steps. Neither side said talks broke down, which indicates the possibility of renewal of diplomatic engagement down the road. Back-channel communication is likely to continue. A fragile ceasefire is still in place and can of course be extended. For Pakistan, it has been a high point in its diplomacy. Playing an unprecedented role as an intermediary between Tehran and Washington, Pakistan's top military and civilian leadership helped to bring about a ceasefire in a war that was on the brink of entering its most dangerous phase. That role signified Pakistan's geopolitical importance. Its diplomatic efforts to avert a protracted, wider conflict established the country as a middle power capable of shaping global geopolitics. It confirmed a new reality in global affairs, that the world has moved into an era of multipolarity in which middle powers not only wield increasing influence, but can play a key role in war and peace. The war between the US, Israel, and Iran catapulted a regional conflict into a systemic shock within an already fragile global economy, causing a dangerous rupture in the world's climate trajectory. What made the moment uniquely perilous was not only the scale of military confrontation, but the fact that it was occurring at a time when scientists have repeatedly warned that the window to keep global warming within 1.5 degrees Celsius is rapidly closing effectively by 2030. Energy lies at the heart of the economic fallout. The disruption of the Strait of Hormuz, through which about 20% to 25% of global petroleum liquid consumption passes, has triggered one of the sharpest energy shocks in modern history. About 80% of the oil passing through the strait is destined for Asian markets. Oil prices surged by over 50% since the war began, while gas prices in Europe and Asia have spiked dramatically. This has translated directly into inflationary pressures across economies. Energy is a foundational input. When fuel costs rise, so do transportation, manufacturing, and food prices. Indeed, oil and gas prices can account for up to 50% of food price variability globally, illustrating how deeply energy shocks penetrate everyday life. What next? Will the 2-week truce help? How will the oil market behave in the days and weeks ahead? Billion-dollar questions with few concrete answers. Some indications, though, can be looked into. Immediately after the announcement of the 2-week ceasefire, oil markets fell from their peak seen in the first week of the month. At close last weekend, crude oil prices were around $96 barrel, some 15% lower than a week ago.